Hey family, welcome back to LNB Perfectly Imperfect, where we invite immigrant families or any family that is interested in building their life financially without falling into debt or stress. Today we're going into another strong tool of financial freedom, and that is a budget. Now, I know what you all are thinking. Budgeting means no fun, no freedom, and just feeling broke all the time. But that's not true. Here's the truth. Budgeting isn't about restrictions. It's about direction. It's not about cutting joy out of your life. It is not about cutting joy out of your life. It is about giving your money a direction to help your family, not the other way around. So stick with me, because by the end of this video, you will have a good budgeting plan that will work for your family, being it an immigrant family or not. One that pays the bill, one that saves for the future, and still let you enjoy life today. Part 1. Why budgeting isn't punishment. Let's flip the script. Most people see budgeting as a punishment, like putting yourself on financial lockdown. But budgeting is actually about freedom. Budgeting is actually about freedom. Let's think about what happens when you don't have a budget. When you don't have a budget, one, the money comes in, then the bills go out, and at the end of the month, you're wondering where your money went. Two, you feel stressed because you don't know if you're going to make it. If you're going to make it until the end of the month. If you'll be able to buy food for the entire month. If you'll be able to pay all your bills for the entire month. You don't know if you're going to make it. Three, you might have to borrow to cover the gap because you did not budget and your money just flew away. It just flew away. A budget fixes that. It is simply you controlling your money instead of your money controlling you. A good budget doesn't leave you feeling broke. It gives every dollar a job so that you can feel in control. And here's the truth. When you know where your money is going, you can feel more in control of it. You can enjoy spending it more, especially when it is towards fun stuff, without guilt. If you set aside $100 for guilt-free spending or for fun money, you can spend that $100 without shame because it was already in the plan. It was already in the plan for you to spend that money on personal stuff, on fun stuff, things that you want to do. It was already in the plan. Part 2, the simple budget plan. All right, let us break down a simple budgeting plan. This will be really simple. We're not going into anything intricate. So one is to write down your income. Whether it's one job, two jobs, side hustle, or remittance. You should know exactly what is coming in every month. Step 2 is to list your expenses. You're going to start with the most important ones, like your mortgage or your rent, your food, your utility, and your transportation. Then you're going to list the others, like your debt payment, your saving, if you're investing at the time, if you're already out of debt, or giving money away. And then lastly, your fun money. Any entertainment you're interested in or eating out. Step 3 is to give every dollar a job. And this is called zero-based budgeting. It's where you plan for every dollar, not that you spend every dollar. you will be assigning every dollar a job. Every dollar is going somewhere. There will be no money left over each month. So it could be $100 to savings, $100 to rent, anything. Like everything will be in that budget. And even your spending money, if it's $100 to spending, that's in the budget. So by the end of the month, every dollar was assigned to do something. For example, you get paid $3,000 a month. You're going to break down the budget with every dollar being placed somewhere, with maybe $1,500 on rent, $100 on going out, $50 on electricity bill. Anyhow you work that out with your expenses, that's how it's going to work. So no money will be left over. Step 4 is that you're going to use categories. The first one would be needs. That would be 50 to 60% of your income, like rent and those major expenses. 2 would be savings or debt payment, and that would be 20 to 30% of your income. 3 is giving, and that would be 5 to 10% of your income. This is if faith or family is important to you. So maybe you're giving tithe at church or helping people. It depends. And then lastly, wants or fun gets 10%. Wants or fun get 10% of your income. So yes, you also get fun money. You get money to spend on your clothes, on your shoes, on your handbags. It's just how much money. So it's not that you're going to spend all your money on that. It's how much money you're gonna get to spend on that. You still get spending money. You still do. You can also follow plans like the Dave Ramsey plan, which step 1 of the baby steps, they're called the baby steps. Step 1 is to get your $1,000 emergency fund. Step 2 would be to be debt free, so to pay off all your debts. Then step 3 is to get the fully fledged emergency fund, and step 4 is to start your investing and all of that, and so on up to step 7. But in this plan, if you're building your budget while using that plan, you won't be putting stuff towards investing and savings until you're done with your debt. So it's also depending on where you're at, which plan you're following, to know what you're actually going to budget for. Because in that plan, starting out, if you have debt, after you build your emergency fund, so you'll have savings in the first part of your budgeting until your $1,000 emergency fund is complete, and then you will pay off all your debt. So you won't be putting anything to savings at that point. You won't be putting anything to investments at that point. And then after you're done with your debt, which might take years, then you will go towards step 3, which is going to put a lot of savings. So everything that you were putting towards debt and all of that is going to go towards savings to fully flesh out your emergency fund. And then step 4 would be to start saving and investing and all of those other stuff. And then you continue with the plan. 5 in the budgeting step is to choose your method. This might be cash envelopes, and this is best for people who cannot keep a budget to the extent. It is hard for them to stay on track with their budget, especially if they're not using cash, if they're using card. For families who overspend easily, that's what the cash envelope method is for. Another way is to use digital apps. You can connect your cards to those apps depending on how you feel about stuff. You can use your cards to connect to these apps so it tracks your spending, and you can assign it to different areas when you spend. So if it was for gas, you can put it under your gas budget. If you transfer the money to savings, you can put it under your savings budget, and you do all that on the app on your phone. These are apps such as Mint or EveryDollar, and I use the EveryDollar app since I am a follower of the Ramsey plan. I use the EveryDollar app, but there is other apps out there that you can use, and I also use the free version, so I have to manually put in what I spend. I do not connect my card. I don't know if you want to do that. You can do that. I can keep a track of my spending. Everything that I spend, as soon as I spend it, the first thing that I want to do is to put it in my budget, to put it where it should go. But if you're going to forget, you can connect the app, and that is a paid version. So that's another thing that you have to look into. I think it's like $7 or something a year. I don't think it's a lot, but I did not pay for it. I'm using the free version. But you do what is best for you. There is multiple different apps that you can look into, research, and figure out which app will be best for you. And this is really for the more tech savvy people. If you're not good with technology, I wouldn't recommend this for you, because you might have trouble figuring how the budget works, which most persons should be fine because it's fairly simple. Then you have another one, which is the notebook method. This is old school. This is writing down everything. Whatever you spend, you have to write it down. Whatever you get, you have, as in your income, you have to write that down, and you have to do the calculations and everything yourself. With the budgeting app, you don't have to calculate yourself. It calculates for you. But do what is best for you. If it is the cash envelope method, if it is the apps method, or if it is full-blown writing it out old school. You also have other methods such as Excel, but if you're using Excel, it's kind of easier to use an app, since Excel would be harder. Excel will be harder, and it's not more visually attractive. So there are still other ways that you can use to help you with your budgeting process. Part 3 is tips for immigrant families. Now let's talk about unique challenges that immigrant families face and how they can work around them within their budget. One is supporting family back home. If you're supporting family back home, put it in your budget. That's something that can go into your budget. So if you're sending them $50 a month, $100 a month, put it in your budget. And it will help you to flow better. Don't be taking it from your rent or any other bills. Just put it in your budget and see if you can't cover your bills because you have that and you have no excessive things in your budget. That's also mean that you might need more income to actually support your family back home. 2 is irregular income. I know a lot of people have irregular income. Some work hourly, some work part-time, some work seasonal. And what you're going to do in this case is to budget off of your lowest income. So what is your lowest month for the year? What will that month be? Maybe it's $2,000 for the month, $1,500. Budget off of that every month. Budget off of that every month so that you ensure that your bills are paid, that you ensure that you are eating okay every month. And then on the good months, you can put that, depending on where you are in your process of being free, you can put that either to savings or putting a lump sum on your debt or something like that. Saying the lowest month is $1,000 and you had a good month of $2,000. The $1,000 should have covered all your expenses, so that shouldn't be an issue. The additional $1,000 should be towards maybe paying off debt or savings, any major stuff, but it should not be towards spending out. It should not just be towards spending out. The next one is that you have a large family. Families that are large is expensive. You can't be eating out every time and all of that, so you have to meal plan. You have to shop in bulk because you get stuff cheaper. If maybe you're shopping at Costco, somewhere that you get stuff in bulk for cheaper. You have to remember to set boundaries around wants because that's even more important for your family. The money will go so fast. Within the budget, you know where it is, but it's like you don't have anything if you don't set boundaries towards wants. The next one is cultural pressure. Sometimes we feel the need or peer pressured or even obligated to say yes to everything, to say yes to going to a wedding, to giving gift every birthday party or celebrations. But you have to remember that you're on a budget. You are on a budget, so you can't be giving everything away. If you budget for it, that's fine, if it is within your budget. So if you put $50 towards a celebration, gifts, wedding, or whatever every month, that's okay. Because if you spend it that month, that person can get something for $50 or under $50 for their gift. If you didn't spend it that month, you have that category where you maybe have $100 next month, and that $50 from this month roll over to next month with that other $50, and that person for that month might get a gift that's under $100. Or even if you're planning for a wedding and your budget towards celebrations is $50 a month, you might have to save those $50 each month to buy your dress and all of that for the wedding. The key point is that you do not go into debt to keep up appearance. If you do not have the money to provide that gift, don't give it. Because you should not be hungry tomorrow because you buy a gift for someone today. That makes no sense. And that's what a lot of us are doing. We might not look at it like that, but it might be you're looking at it like, oh, that's just another $50 that I won't be able to pay off, but it's just $50. All those just $50 add up. They add up. And let's remember this. Budgeting is personal. It's for you and your family. So don't have others telling you about their budget and what they're doing for you to feel maybe ashamed or left out with things that you cannot do. You have to know that your budget is for you and your family, and that's where you are at in your process. Don't be looking at other people and what they are doing or where they are at in their process. They probably already went through what you're going through. They are probably on another step, but you are on your step. So you be on your step and you work through that. You work on your income, you work on your budget, you work on your savings, and then eventually you can take the next step. You can be further on. You might be debt free at that point. You might be debt free with just your mortgage. So do not focus on what others are doing or which step they are on. Focus on you and your family. So you're going to make your budget work for your household, not their household, not his household, not her household, but your household. Families, here's the bottom line. Budgeting is not about being broke, but it's about being intentional. When you give every dollar a job, you take back control of your life. So here's your challenge. This week, what you're going to do is that you're going to sit down and write your first budget. And remember, when we're starting, we're not aiming for perfection. We are perfectly imperfect. When we're starting, we're not aiming for perfection. We just need to start. Just start making that budget. So guys, drop a comment down below and let me know which method you're going to try. Let me know which step you are at. Let me know if you're going to actually try budgeting, because it's really important. And if this really spoke to you, share it with another family. Share it with a family that needs this information, that needs to know about budgeting. And also, if you need any help with your budget, you can drop it down in the comments. I will look through the comments and help you guys through your budget, through starting your first budget. And don't forget to subscribe to LNB Perfectly Imperfect, because we're building families, lives, one step at a time. A life of freedom, not debt. One budget, one step, one family at a time. I believe in you guys and we can do this together. So let's do this together. The quote for today is that a budget is telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. And that's by John C. Maxwell. The Bible scripture is Luke 14 verse 28. For which of you, desiring to build a tower, does not first sit down and count the cost, whether he has enough to complete it?